Yeah, it is hot out there, Tim. I can see it on your face,
I'll
man.
tell you what, that storm we had the other night.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, we know it's definitely summertime here and stuff, and sellers need to, start selling the house, and they don't want to miss out on
No.
some of the programs that are still available out there, 100% financing.
And we're seeing a lot of movement. And we're seeing a
we
lot
are.
of movement now. Market, again, has picked up. Interest rates, of course, dropped. So now we've seen a lot of sudden interest going on. So we're seeing people going out again looking at homes. But the biggest thing we're seeing is the staging of the homes.
Yeah. Basically, what we're going to go over this week is give you a few hints for the sellers, what they need to do.
Right.
And some of these are very, very simple and non-cost or low cost. And also, we're going to tell you a little bit about what we can do to advertise your house for sale and try to get it sold for you as fast as possible and for as much money as possible.
You want to capture the momentum, and the momentum really is now, because
Right.
we know between now into later on this month and then into August, September, October, this is the season of the market where homes are going to sell, and then we know things really start to quiet down. They slow down for November,
right around
December.
December, yep.
So time to snap it up if you're rolling. So let's talk about some of the things that we see, Rick, when we go out and look at houses and preview homes as far as for selling it, and some of the things that we know that our buyers look at and say, oh man, and simple things. One of the first things I think is paint.
Paint is very, very simple. People don't realize that, over the years, if you don't paint your house, the walls are going to get dirty and scuffed up and marked up and everything.
Right.
And if you just put a fresh coat of paint on it,
To make all the difference
it
in the
makes
world.
a big difference, And it's low cost. You can do it yourself, even though I know a lot of people hate painting,
Sure.
including myself. But if you get it done, though, it's going to help sell your house faster.
It really freshens
And
it
that's
up.
going to save you money in the long term.
And go with just a tan, just an off-white,
Yeah.
something like that. Now, we talked about this before. No cowboy colors.
Yeah, no doubt.
We have to be careful with that, right? What else,
Yeah.
Rick?
Flowers and mulch.
Yeah.
Putting these nice bright flowers out there, fresh mulch out there, keeping it all clean,
And you're competing against foreclosures. And
Yes.
you got to realize the foreclosures, there's nobody out there putting flowers up or mulch.
gosh,
And the houses
no.
are looking destroyed. And people look at a foreclosure and say, oh, it's $15,000 less. And then they look at your home. If your home shows, if it's vibrant, if it's full of color,
Right.
they see the flowers, they see the mulch. They look at it and say, you know what, I like this house better because I don't have to do anything.
And they know that someone's been living in it and taking care of it and everything.
Speaking of living in it, we've been through some kitchens.
Oh, yes, we have. It's a big thing. Keep your refrigerator clean and
Yeah,
keep your
please.
kitchen clean. That's where all the food is. People want to see a nice, clean kitchen. Especially, there's been some times when we walked through some foreclosure, we opened up the kitchen,
Maybe
the
the
refrigerator.
refrigerator.
Oh my gosh!
Oh.
And sometimes they want to knock you out, but that's because nobody's lived in there
Right.
and the electricity's been turned off.
So watch the fridge, watch the bathrooms too, Rick. That's the other one.
Yes, exactly. Now cut the lawns.
Not only the one you're trying to sell.
your neighbor's lawn. If it's a foreclosure and nobody's out, I mean, think about it. If it looks disgusting, people are going to sit there and say, "Well, I don't want to live next to that."
Right, exactly
right. And to be honest with you, I've had it done. Over where
we
I
had the
live
one
at.
in where you lived, where the grass was, what was it, like 4 feet tall?
It was like this high,
Jeez.
and I swear to you, I had to pay somebody to cut it just because I felt proud of my neighborhood, and I just didn't want people to see that and think that it was a bad neighborhood.
And speaking of neighborhoods, even the trash, Rick. I mean, we've seen some people say, believe trash. I mean, these are the simple things you can do just to get people to take care of their properties.
Get a community thing. Get people on your street. Get them all together one day and cut the grass together and plant some new flowers. I know it's not your house, but the reality of it is it's going to help sell your house also faster because people don't want to see that.
And that's why people want to know. They say, how do I compete against the foreclosures?
Right.
How do I figure out what do I need to do to really stand apart? Because people think just because there's a whole bunch of foreclosures that your price has to be significantly less, and it doesn't. We know that, Rick.
Right.
If it shows, if it sells,
Yep.
that's what makes it work. It really does.
Next thing, neighborhood signage.
Well, yeah, if you've got a neighborhood sign that's out there and it's all beaten up, and let's face it, the plants are all dead, someone's run over the bushes, it's time to invest a little bit in that. And we're not talking a lot of money, are we?
No, we're not.
I mean,
very, very little.
Just a little investment.
Most
goes
of the
a
time,
long
it's just
way.
labor work and putting time and effort into it. The next thing is incentives to the selling agent, which would be the buyer's agent.
We've seen that's been having some significant movement on homes.
Yes.
Now here's the thing, and this is what I tell people. People want to know, how do I make my house stand apart? How do I make this difference? And Rick, I think the best thing to do really is to get a professional like yourself out there into the house, take a view of the neighborhood, take a view of the house, do the tour, and then sit down and give you some ideas and strategies where they can figure out, what do I need to do to make this home sell?
Right. And next week's show, we're going to talk about the technology that me, Pam, and Mark have invested a lot of money into to go ahead and change things for our listings and for you, hopefully, if you want to list with us. And we're going to show you some of the things that we do that are going to be different, hopefully, than what other realtors are out there and what we have that's available for you. And you're going to be amazed by some of the wild things that they got as far as technology.
It's amazing. And basically what we want to do is show you how you can get your home sold and to make that next deal work.
Get it sold as fast as possible for as much money as possible.
So to get a hold of Rick, you can call him at the office at 301-373-6257. You can go on the website at www.allsouthernmdhomes.com. I know you always take an email too, right?
Rick@rickmcnabb.com, or my cell phone there. And, you know, if you would just like a free CMA report basically telling you what your house is worth, contact us by any of these three ways, and we'll be able to get in touch with you and stuff. And actually, Pam and I will come out there and sit down and talk with you and see how things go, and hopefully we'll be able to get your house sold.
We'll see you then. Have a great day.
I wouldn't be trying though.